Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef, and I'm so excited to be celebrating my 45th birthday with you, as well as Pampered Chef's 45th anniversary. And we have one more big thing to celebrate. So I told you guys a few weeks ago that I was this close to reaching 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and we did it. And so my goal was to do it for my birthday, and we did. So I have this awesome sign made, and Christian and I were talking earlier, and he said I could just use the same sign every time I meet another milestone. We just change the number, and then we can just cover up a whole wall with them. So I thought that was great. So I'm going to set this out of the way. Hopefully it doesn't fall down, and we'll go ahead and get started. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I think I had more registrations for this live event than any that I've ever done before, so I'm excited about that. I had originally planned to go live from the doghouse in Georgia, and I decided I wanted to do it from here, and I wanted to be in Florida on my birthday yesterday, so I came home a whole week early, and I'm really happy to be back in Florida, and excited to be with you guys tonight. So I'm gonna move this sign out of the way, and we're gonna go ahead and start cooking. So let's see if I can get that all the way out of the way, almost anyways. We have so much to do. So I've got most of the prep work done ahead of time. So I'm going to show you 2 recipes, and then I'm going to show you one that I already made ahead of time. So 3 total. I'm taking it back to the 1980s. And if you didn't know this, I was born 4 days before the very first Pampered Chef cooking show. And so they were called kitchen shows then, and they were parties, and we've changed to what we call them over the years. But I was born on October 11th, 1980, and Pampered Chef began on October 15th, 1980. So I was born to sell Pampered Chef, right? So here I am going on 27 years later, I think. I'm starting to lose count. I have to double check sometimes when I say things out loud that I'm saying the right thing. But did you know that Doris Christopher, the founder of the Pampered Chef, she made a frozen pizza at her very first Pampered Chef party, and she used a piece of stoneware. So I'm gonna make a pizza tonight. We're not using a frozen pizza. We're gonna make it semi-homemade, and I can't wait to share that with you. So I've got the oven preheated to 400 degrees because we are gonna par bake this crust. I am using a store-bought crust. I did not have any Pampered Chef pizza crust mix on hand. That just means I've given it all away to many of you guys watching, because I stocked up on a bunch of it, and we ate some of it, and I gave a lot of it away. So I need to restock my prize closets. And so when you guys shop this event, actually you're gonna help restock my prize closet, because I'm gonna use some of the host rewards for that this time. So when you're shopping today, you're gonna help me come up with lots of other prizes to give you guys in the future. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you don't know what par bake means, it's just what it sounds like, partially baked. So we're gonna par bake our pizza. And if you didn't know that before today, that's okay. Now you learned something new. My goal is to teach you something new every single time. And we're gonna put this on a pizza stone. So I'm using our pizza stone that has the rim around the edge all the way, rather than just the handles on the side. And this is the white stone. So I love this one. It's one of my favorite round stones to use. I was going to buy Pillsbury brand refrigerated pizza crust. This is going to make some noise, so I'll go ahead and get that out of the way. But when Connor and I went to Publix after church today, they didn't have any. And so I was like, if I have to go to another store, it was literally, we were on the last aisle, and that was the only thing that I needed, and I couldn't believe it that they didn't have it there. So we went all the way to the first aisle to the bakery, and thankfully they had their homemade crust. And I just realized I want to put a little bit of oil on here. So let me grab, let's see, I want to use, I got to dig way back here. I'll put all this up again later. We're gonna use our garlic Parmesan oil. I'm gonna shake this up just to get the Parmesan and the garlic mixed up. And then let me get a basting brush. Right out the gate, I realized I didn't have everything out. So we're gonna do a little bit. You don't have to do this step, but it is gonna give it a little bit extra flavor. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of oil on the stone. And if I remember, we'll put some on the top after we par bake it. So I'm just gonna spread this out, and it actually will help make spreading the dough easier to start with. And I've got some flour if we need it on the top. So I'm gonna leave this out. Hopefully I'll remember that. If you haven't already, make sure you introduce yourself. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're watching live or if you happen to be catching the replay. I know a lot of people catch the replay later, and that is Okay, too, I'm gonna give away some prizes to those of you who registered ahead of time. All right, I'm gonna push this to the edges, just like this. So prizes are coming. I just wanna get our recipes going. And I didn't even need my baker's roller, but let me show you. This baker's roller is great because you can just roll out your crust, but with that oil, literally it just makes spreading this to the edge so much easier. So I'm just gonna make a little edge up along the edge of the stone, which I like to do that too. That's one of the reasons I like this, because it has the edge all the way around. Now we're gonna take this little piece that is attached to the handle of the baker's roller, and we're gonna just prick this crust. And what this does is it keeps the crust from becoming a big bubble, right? So we're gonna just prick this, and you can do this on pie crust, and this little side here goes up the inside of a pie plate. So if you didn't know that, that's what that smaller piece is for. So I do love our tapered rolling pin. I think that's what we call the wooden rolling pin. I do love that, but it isn't great when you're trying to roll this out into a stone. So the oven is preheated to 400 degrees, and we're gonna bake it for 7 minutes. So it's not gonna be completely cooked, but it's gonna be partially cooked, par baked. So let me put this in the oven. Let's see. I'm gonna get my oven gloves ready, and they'll be ready when I'm ready. Okay, so the recipe that we're making tonight, 3 cheese garden pizza. I chose this one because our rapid prep mandolin is on sale this month, and because it's on sale, and today is the last day. So we have 2 products. Let me see if I can get this back on there or not. It just, I don't know why, but it doesn't want to snap on there. Maybe, I don't know. We're not gonna worry about it right now. But we have 2 products that are 15% off, and this sale ends today. So you have to purchase this today if you want in on the discount. So if you're watching the replay tomorrow, this is gonna be gone. But both of these products are 15% off. And the other great thing is when you shop tonight, you're gonna double your entries into the drawing for the big prizes. So I'm giving away, how many prizes am I giving away live? I'm giving away 8 prizes live, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 prizes after the event. So shop tonight, you're gonna get double entries, and these 2 products, 15% off. So the food chopper, which I'm not using tonight, is on sale for $65. This food chopper is the sample that Pampered Chef sent me, I believe in 2000. So about a year after I joined Pampered Chef, they restyled the food chopper, and this is the sample that they have sent me. So if you were in my kitchen and looked at this up close, it is in some pretty bad shape, or rough shape, not bad shape. It works great, it just looks rough. You can chop in this little container, or you can chop right here on the cutting board. So to do this, you're just gonna chop, chop, chop. You do not have to chop in this little cup. So many people that I meet think that you have to chop in this. You don't. The only time I use that is when I'm chopping a small amount of food, or maybe like a few nuts or something that I then want to kind of sprinkle around somewhere. The way this works, you're gonna press this in, and every time you press, it rotates a little, like a quarter of a turn. So you're not mashing your food, you're chopping it. I love this because when I was little, my grandmother, Thomason, she lived in our basement, her and my granddaddy, and she used pecans on a lot of things. I did not like pecans. I don't like any nuts when I was a kid, and I'm limited on the ones that I like now, but I would always help her chop the pecans. And how many of you have one of those glass jars, or maybe your grandmother or your mother had a glass jar? It had the 3 blades, and you literally had to pick it up and you had to turn it yourself, and it took way too long. So I remember when I started selling Pampered Chef, I got my grandmother one of these because she was actually at my first Pampered Chef party, which is pretty cool. To take this apart for cleaning, you're gonna unscrew this piece. This piece just unplugs, and this just opens right up, and this all goes on the top rack of the dishwasher. To put this back together, you just plug it in just like you would a plug in the wall. Twist this back on, and it's ready to go. So food chopper, forever and always, one of the best things you can get from Pampered Chef. The rapid prep mandolin is what we're gonna use today. And you guys, I'm sure some of you were like screaming at me. You didn't set a timer. So I'm just gonna guess on how long that's been in there. And I'm gonna set a short timer, and we're gonna check on our crust. we're gonna put some toppings on here, and we're gonna do cheese, and we're gonna do some veggies. So this pizza, my kids aren't gonna be real excited about it, but we're gonna use the Wrap and Prep mandolin in just a few minutes. So I'm gonna set it aside, but in case I forget to tell you, it is on sale, 15% off, so it's $67.15. So we need to get our cheese ready to go, because when this comes out, we're gonna put mozzarella cheese and cheddar cheese on top of that crust, and it'll start melting a little bit because the crust will be hot. Hopefully I'll remember to brush it with a little bit of this garlic Parmesan oil. This is a sauceless pizza. So I have some ranch dressing in the refrigerator because I like ranch on all my pizza. So I'm one of those kind of people. I also like pineapple on pizza. So I know some of you watching are like, nope, no ranch on pizza. Nope, no pineapple on pizza. But I love both of those things. So if you wanted to put sauce on this, you certainly can. But it is a sauceless pizza. So we're gonna shred some cheddar and some mozzarella. So I have a block of cheddar that I used actually yesterday because I wasn't 100% sure what recipe I was gonna make. I started to make clubhouse chicken squares, and I know a lot of you guys watching have tried that and love it. I made it yesterday, and I actually used a different brand of crescent rolls. They're supposed to be healthier. I'm gonna post about them in my recipe community later so you can see the brand. I felt like they were a little bit more dry than Pillsbury. It's just proof that things that are better for you don't taste as good, right? But if you're not a member of my recipe community, make sure you go there. You can find it by going to theflipflopchef.com. There's a button at the top of the page that says recipe community. When you click that button, it'll take you there. Make sure you hit the join button so you actually join the group, and you'll have access to thousands of recipes, hundreds of videos, and a giveaway at least every Friday. So we're gonna put cheddar cheese, and if you didn't notice already, I am using this dual-sided grater, and you can use this a couple of different ways. So this is like an extra coarse. So you see, this is not your typical cheese grater. This is like not your typical fine cheese grater. So I'm going to show you the difference here. And I've got about 1 minute left on my pretend timer since I don't really know how much time. Let me dry my hands so I can zoom in here and show you guys the difference. Hopefully you can see. So this is not like your typical fine grate, and this is not your typical coarse. So these are both a little bit bigger than your normal fine or coarse shred. Hopefully that makes sense. We're gonna use this on some Parmesan cheese also, and just a little bit. How much of this, we're supposed to, oh yeah, we need a little bit more of both of these. So, and you guys know, I don't usually measure cheese, so we definitely need to have enough. There is a little food holder, so when you get down to the little nub, make sure you don't slice off the end of your fingers, right? Let's see. Okay, so a little bit more of this, and then we're gonna do some mozzarella, and I'm gonna just open this package, and we're gonna do this right on the same cutting mat here. And then we're gonna get all those toppings ready to go. I'm also going to show you guys how to make a really old but delicious recipe from Pampered Chef. It's called Frosty Latte. And I have some vanilla ice cream that's been sitting out for about 30 minutes now. Hopefully it's nice and soft by the time we get to that step. And you guys are gonna love me or hate me for teaching you how to make this recipe, because it is just, it's just that good. It's so good. And then I've made ahead the French silk pie using our new French silk dessert mix. You guys, I'd be giving one away, but I only had one. And so I haven't even officially tried it, but I did lick the spoon, so I know that it is good, and can't wait to taste it in just a little bit. So I wish you guys were here to taste it. All right, now if you wanted to, you can shred your cheese directly into this little cup. I prefer not to do that. I feel like I'm not as stable. And then when you get down to that little piece, you just slide this up and you put your block of cheese right in here, and you finish grating it. I don't know if I'm gonna need that or not, but we're gonna wait and see. But first, I need to get our pizza out of the oven. So let me make some room for it. I'm gonna use one of my new, what are these called? These are called the multi-purpose silicone mats. Love, love, love these. Cannot say enough about those. Let me get our pizza and we're gonna get it finished up here. Let's see. It already smells so good because I put that garlic Parmesan oil on the bottom of the stone. All right. So this is not completely cooked, okay? We're just gonna put this down here. And if you don't have our oven gloves, you definitely need to get these. This is on my prize list. I can't wait to tell you who won that. I was so excited when I saw the name. So we're gonna put all of this cheese on the crust, and it's gonna start melting because that crust is a little bit warm. So we're gonna just pour all this on there. And if at any time when you're making something with cheese, you think you need more, you just grate more, and I think we need more. So I'm gonna grate a little bit more mozzarella, and then we're gonna put our veggies on the top. Top it with some Parmesan cheese, more cheese, right? So 3 cheese pizza is what we've got here. And, and then we're gonna finish baking it. And while it finishes baking, I'm gonna show you guys the other recipe. So let me cheat and look at my recipe because it feels like 27 years since I've made this. All right, so we're gonna add onion, zucchini, mushrooms, tomatoes, and I put a small bell pepper, or like the mini peppers in here because I have to show you the new pepper core. Couple of things that you need to know. As of earlier today, the pepper core was back in stock. I'm really hoping that it is still back in stock. And you guys, I forgot the garlic. I knew I would forget that oil. It's okay though. We got it underneath, so we've got that great flavor. So I actually could just put a little bit on the edge of the crust. So you know, like some restaurants, they brush, I know Mellow Mushroom does this, so we'll just do just the crust. I'm just pouring a little bit of this on my basting brush here. All right. I lost my train of thought. I know I was saying something else. You guys do that, right? You start to say something and then you get distracted. I hope, right? I'm normal, right? All right. So we're gonna have a nice crispy crust edge with that Parmesan garlic oil. Okay. Oh, I know what I was saying. The pepper core. So it was out of stock and then it was back in stock. This is not a Wild Supplies last item. So if it goes out of stock, just know that it is going to come back. And then there's a couple other things that I'm going to tell you about in just a little bit. But the leak-proof storage container set, it was showing out of stock. I didn't even get those out. I was going to show you guys because I love them so much. But because it's out of stock right now, I decided not to use them. But they will be coming back. Excuse me, I have something in my eye. I don't know what that is, but thankfully it wasn't terrible. It must have been an eyelash or something. Okay, so pepper core. We're adding the peppers because we just have to show this off. So this 2 pieces here. This is for a big pepper. I didn't need a big pepper for this, but you would just basically if this was the pepper, you would just cut the top out. But this little thing right here, I am loving this tool. I'm gonna show you a couple of things that you can do with this. But first, you're gonna put this in these little mini peppers, just like this. And look, you can pop those seeds right out. I love that. And if you had some that were still in there, you could cut this in half and then scoop it out. But if you want to keep them whole to stuff like with cheese, then you can certainly just tap out those seeds. All right, now, oh, that one looks so good. We're gonna set this aside because we're gonna use this in a rapid prep mandolin. It is gonna be like the star of the show tonight. Let's get our onion ready here. Let me just go ahead and toss this in the garbage because those are gonna be in my way. But the pepper core, this side, if I remember, we're gonna use it to seed these tomatoes, and you can also use it to take the seeds out of cucumbers. I used this piece here, just like I did on that pepper yesterday, on an English cucumber when I made the Clubhouse chicken squares. And the only reason I switched recipes, I just really wasn't loving those crescent rolls. And I decided I wanted to do a pizza like Doris did. So I'm gonna cut the ends off there, and I was going to show you the citrus and onion peeler. Check this out. You just hook this under one layer of the onion, and look, you can just peel that right off. And actually, I didn't even have to use my knife on the side, but I always forget. You can't, it's hard to retrain your brain, right? You just pull straight down and it will make that little cut for you. So we're gonna use the rapid prep mandolin to slice our onions, our zucchini, our peppers, and the mushrooms. And then I'm gonna do the tomato with a tomato knife because I don't like putting tomatoes in the Rapid Prep mandolin because I just feel like you're just kind of like smushing them. So I didn't want to do that. So Rapid Prep mandolin, I have a whole video on my channel showing you just this product. And this is something that I cannot live without. So I recommend that you get one. And I have detailed instructions in my recipe group and in that video. There are 2 dials. So the short abbreviated version, you're gonna pick, do you want slicing or dicing? We have slicing, we have a French fry cut, and a julienne cut. So I want this on a slice for right now. And then you decide your thickness. So how thick do you want it? 0 is super thin, 8 is really thick. We also have the perfect French fry and the perfect julienne setting when you're using the other settings. But I want this like on a 3, okay? Now, this has a little door. You're gonna pop this open and whoops, this piece just hooks right in like that. And then you've got this little bucket. That's what I like to call it. It's a tray, but it's a really cool little bucket. It just catches all your stuff. We're gonna pop this in. And I do have a potato that we're not using. We're not putting a potato on this pizza, but I'm gonna show you a little bit more with the Rapid Prep mandolin with just the potato, okay? So we're gonna cut these into slices, just like that. And we're gonna put these on the pizza. Can you guys tell that that cheese is nice and melted? All right, so we're gonna just put these onions. I'm gonna have some extra, so I'll probably make like a stir fry or something. Let me actually grab, I said I wasn't gonna get the leak-proof containers out, but I think I'm going to. All right, we're gonna put our onions in here, and I do love this new little size. So when the leak-proof containers come back, make sure you get them because they're awesome and they nest with the lids on, which is such a cool thing. So next thing we're gonna put in here is, what do I wanna do next? Let's do the zucchini. So I'm gonna do about half of this. So I'm gonna cut the end off, and I'm not gonna cut the other end because I'm gonna just put this, I'm actually do this a little thinner. So I'm gonna move this down to a 2. And we're gonna get these really thin slices, and I'm only gonna slice what I need for this. I can't wait to read the comments and see what you guys think about this. If you notice, because the food was taller than this, the food chute here, I'm not using the food pusher. But if this got shorter, then I would use that. But I don't think I'm gonna need it for the zucchini. So we're gonna just set the rest of this aside. I'll have it for another recipe. We're gonna stick our peppers in here, and I am gonna use the food pusher. These smell so good. So I'm gonna put all these peppers on the top. I love veggie pizza. If I'm not ordering chicken and pineapple pizza, I am definitely ordering a veggie. Those are my 2 favorites. I eat meat, but I don't love meat on pizza. Isn't that weird? I'll eat a pepperoni pizza, but it's not really my favorite. So, all right. Oops, I have a little piece of pepper still in here. I'm gonna take it out. I could keep chopping it, but we have enough. So I'm gonna fill this little hopper. I'm gonna just slice these peppers, or mushrooms. And we're gonna put these on the top. This recipe, I shared the recipe in the link. So if you saw my first comment, or maybe it was my second, because I forgot that I had to, when you push enter, it makes the comment go. But there's one link that I posted, and it has the recipes, the specials, and the shopping link, everything that you need. All right, so we're gonna put some tomatoes. I'm gonna set this aside just for the moment because we're gonna use that on a potato in just a little bit. Sorry, try to keep things that aren't gonna be a distraction on the camera view. Now, I'm gonna get a tomato knife, which is this one. It looks just like our steak knife. The steak knives are gray, but they're exactly the same as the orange handle tomato knife. Now, what I'm gonna do is I wanna show you how you can use the little tool that comes with the pepper core. Now, let me use this because I don't want to make too much of a juicy mess. But look, you can just scoop out these seeds right out of the tomato, okay? You can also use this to remove the stems from strawberries. So if you've been waiting for a core to come back, then that is what you can do with this. Now, we're gonna take our tomato knife. I'm gonna slice these. I don't put these in the rapid prep mandolin because I don't want to squish them, and I like my tomatoes to be ripe. Now, if you put a really hard tomato in there, then fine, it's not going to destroy it. But especially if you have homegrown tomatoes, you're not going to want to put them in that mandolin because it'll just squish them. Now, I have had success with like little grape or cherry tomatoes. All right, so I'm gonna take that off. I didn't remove the stem, so I'll leave that. Okay, I'm just gonna do one tomato, especially since I added on the peppers. So the peppers are not part of the recipe. Now, we need to add our Parmesan cheese and some Italian seasoning mix. So what we're gonna do is I have our Parmesan cheese right here, and we're gonna use the other side of this shredder for the Parmesan cheese. So remember I showed you this is not like a super fine, but it's not a regular coarse. It's in between the two. All right. And by the way, Publix pizza crust is actually really good, and it worked out better because this was in a circle. They don't always have it rolled out in a circle, but it did make it easier to put on the stone. And they cost about the same as the Pillsbury crust. So if you were comparing cost, it might be 50 cents more, unless you're shopping at Walmart. But at Publix, if you're buying the Pillsbury versus the Publix deli or bakery crust, they're gonna be very close in price. I typically don't shop at Publix, but it literally is right next door to my church. And so when we come out of church, since I do these lives on Sunday, it's just so convenient. I just go in and get my groceries, and it's on the way home. So I was really glad that they saved the day with the crust in the deli, because otherwise I was gonna have to drive about 15 minutes away to another store to try to find the main ingredient for what we were having today. Okay, I'm probably using way more cheese than the recipe calls for, but if a little's good, a lot is better. Actually, my dad taught me that. Before my first party, actually, I practiced my recipe demonstration on him and my sister, and I was gonna measure the cheese, like I was giving the instructions. Oh, now you're gonna measure out 4 ounces of shredded cheese. And he was like, don't measure the cheese. I want you to be measured it. He said, if a little's good, a lot's better. And he was right. So, all right, we're gonna put some Italian seasoning on the top. So we have the Italian dipping oil. Oh no, not the Italian. I did garlic Parmesan oil under the crust and around that edge. But this is our Italian seasoning. We're gonna sprinkle this on the top, and then this is gonna go back in the oven for about 15 to 18 minutes. Now, the reason it's important that you par bake the crust is so that you don't end up with a soggy crust. So if you're wondering, why did we partially bake it at the beginning? That's why, because if you've ever had a pizza that has a soggy crust, it's because it needed to be par baked first. And vegetables have a lot of liquid, have a lot of water, and so for this pizza, it's especially important. All right, so this is not hot enough, too hot for me to handle, so I'm gonna put this back in the oven. I cannot wait to eat that. It smells so good. All right, I'm not gonna forget the timer. So we're gonna do, it says 15 to 18 minutes, so let's just do 15 minutes, and then I'll check it. So let's do some prizes, and then I'm gonna show you how to make the frosty latte, and I'll tell you about our French silk pie, and then I have most of the new products. So if you have been following Pampered Chef, we did a smaller release in September than normal, and then we have another release in October. So my brain has definitely been confused with the multiple releases of products, but I have most of them here, including the bread basket that I'm going to give away. I did open it. Typically I don't open products I'm going to give away, but I hope that whoever wins it doesn't mind that I opened it to show everybody. I am excited. I was able to get another one in a cart. So I just happened to try when somebody took it out of their cart. So I have another one on the way. So I'm going to show you guys that in a bit. But let's give away some prizes. So are you listening? If you are a winner, two things. I always forget to say this. If you're a winner, please send me a text message or a message on Facebook with your shipping address so that I will know where to ship this. My goal is to ship everything that I'm giving away during the live. I hope to ship it out tomorrow. So if you can message me with your address in case you've moved or in case you've never shopped with me or I don't have your address on file, message me if you are a winner so I know where to send your prize. And please also share this on Facebook that you won. Share this video when I post the replay and let your friends know so that they can follow me as well. And if you're not already a subscriber, please hit that little subscribe button. So we've hit 10,000, but let's keep going, right? So hit the subscribe button. So I have 5 people who will be receiving the rosemary herb seasoning mix. The reason I chose to give that away this month is so that you will be ready for Thanksgiving next month. If you have not watched my video showing you how to make an overnight turkey, I highly recommend that you check it out, especially if you are the one making the turkey for Thanksgiving this year. It is the easiest way to make a turkey. You do not need to baste it, but if you choose not to make the turkey that way, the Pampered Chef's Baster is back. We only have it this time of the year, so if you need one, it is back. You can grab that if you need it. But the way that I teach you how to make a turkey, you cook it breast side down, and there's no basting needed. It is the easiest way to make a turkey, and I have yet to have somebody tell me that they don't like that method after they try it. So you need the rosemary herb seasoning mix. So I have 5 winners. So these names, and forgive me if I don't know how to say your name correctly, but I have Carolyn Bartosh, I'm not sure how you say your name, Michelle Cohen, Brian Layton, Kim Beckner, and Ron Stevenson. So I have 5 winners for the rosemary herb seasoning packet, and they do have a recipe card attached that has other ideas if you're not going to use it for a turkey. Our anniversary scraper, which I don't think I have out here, is going to Joyce Pound. Joyce actually was one of my first hosts when I first joined Pampered Chef. So I was excited that I drew your name for the anniversary scraper. And then Linda Williams, my friend from Moreland, Georgia, you are gonna get the cinnamon and cinnamon plus. So that's a good way for me to let you guys all know that the cinnamon plus and our Madagascar bourbon pure vanilla extract, which is double strength, all of these are back for the whole season. So normally we only sell them through December, but we're gonna have them through February, which is so exciting. I'm so glad that they made that a little bit simpler for us. So the Korenji cinnamon, this is the cinnamon that is used by professional bakers, the preferred cinnamon, I should say, of professional bakers. It's the same cinnamon that you're gonna find in the Cinnabon cinnamon rolls. And I have some amazing Land of Non-Cinnamon rolls that I can share with you guys how to make that. The Cinnamon Plus is the same Korenji cinnamon, but we've added to this nutmeg, allspice, orange peel, cloves, and ginger. You would think after this many years I would know that, but I never trust my brain to remember them all. And then the double strength Madagascar bourbon pure vanilla extract. Because it's double strength, you can use half as much, or if you want that extra punch of flavor, then you can use the whole the whole amount that the recipe calls for. So Linda Williams, you're getting the cinnamon and the cinnamon plus. And then the winner of a brand new pair, not these, these are mine that I have crumbs all over. You guys can see Connor uses these and our whole family does. So I'm gonna send a new pair to Cynthia Hall. So Cynthia, I hope you're watching. I was so excited to draw your name for this, and so I'll get those in the mail to you as well. Now, the remaining prizes will be given away after October 15th when this party closes. If you shop tonight, you're gonna get double entries into the drawing for those prizes, and if you book a party with me for the month of October, you're going to get a bonus gift or a bonus entry. So let me know if you're interested in that too. But the prizes that I still have to give away are the deluxe air fryer and oven, the bread basket with the warming stone, which I have over here. I'm going to show you guys in just a little bit. The stoneware muffin pan, which is while supplies last. So make sure if that is on your list that you get it, because If I've learned anything about Pampered Chef this season is that I have no idea how quickly things are going to sell out. So make sure you get that if you want it. The multi-purpose silicone mats, love these so much and so excited to give a pair of those away. The Kids Club Taco Bout Tasty Box, it's the first box in our Kids Club series. So that's gonna be coming to one of you lucky people. The Kids Club Chef Hat, Mitt Set, and Apron, which I will show you in a little bit. That's gonna be to another winner. And then I have the much loved and sold out guacamole keeper, plus a mix and masher, plus the guacamole mix. I have a coated knife set, so the knives that go along with that tomato knife. This is another one of them here. You get the whole set. And then a mini counter vacuum, which I have been loving, and I know a lot of you guys that have it are also loving it too. So we have about 8 more minutes on the pizza. So while we're waiting on the pizza, let's make our frosty latte. You're gonna need the smaller of the 2 size quick stir pitcher. So this is the 2-quart quick stir pitcher. We also sell a family size, which is a gallon, which is 4 quarts. We're gonna need half a gallon of ice cream. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put this in here first. And I hope that it is soft enough. I usually like to I prefer to use cheaper ice cream just because, I hate to use this comparison, but it's like when you make sangria, you can use cheaper wine than if you're just drinking wine. Same thing with the drink that you're mixing in ice cream. You can use cheap ice cream to make this, but can you believe that a half a gallon of Publix brand ice cream was $7 for Publix brand? I was so disappointed in that because it's just not right. But Edie's brand was buy one, get one free, and they were like $6.99 each. So we have some cookie dough ice cream in the freezer as our BOGO. And so that made me feel better about that. And so I went with the more expensive brand because it was cheaper. So we're gonna put this in. It calls for 4 cups, which is, whoa, I'm making a mess. I did the same thing the other day and I was trying not to duplicate that. Let's see if I can capture it all. Okay, we're gonna scrape all this in here and then we're gonna add coffee and milk, and that's it, you guys. If you like Frappuccinos, you're gonna really, really love this because it kind of has that Frappuccino consistency. And if you happen to not drink it all, like this is not going to be consumed this evening because I don't want to be up all night. Let me show you what I did with the leftovers. And I got to get my other ingredients out. Anyways, so I put the leftovers in this insulated pitcher. So if you are going to make this ahead of time and you want to keep it cold, put it in here because it will stay cold way, way, way longer. You will probably have to take the lid off to pour it when it's really thick because it's, like I said, I got this thick ice cream in here. But this is the leftovers that I made the other day for a picture. So I have tons of frosty latte at my house right now, but I will drink it all this week probably. So we need 2 cups of milk and 2 cups of cold coffee. You can use cold brew coffee, which is what I'm using. I know a lot of you here have Pampered Chef's cold brew pitcher, which has since been discontinued. I hate that, but if you have it, you probably love it. I just can't sell it to you if you don't have it. It can be, if you make like a pot of coffee and you have leftover coffee, this is a great recipe to use with your leftover coffee. So just refrigerate it. And if you didn't know this, there are a lot of coffee shops, like brands you know, that if they don't brew hot, like if you order an iced coffee, not a cold brew, if you order an iced coffee and they don't put hot coffee on ice cubes, they're giving you leftover coffee from the day before. So it's totally fine to do that. Businesses make good business decisions when they do that, so not to waste that. But if you didn't know that, hopefully you learned something else today. All right, so let me put these back in the fridge. So we've got 2 cups of cold coffee. It can be cold brew or recycle your leftover coffee. I do recommend whole milk for this. I mean, who's worried about the calories right now? We're just gonna pour this in. This ice cream probably is not quite soft enough for me to plunge this, but we're gonna try. What you wanna do is you wanna make sure you don't break your plunger. So if it is not, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna use my, my mix and chop really quickly just to kind of push this down and see, because it's hard to pull this out and not make a mess. And it's still too thick for me to plunge, so I'm just gonna give this a little stir with our mix and chop. There we go. I just need to break up this big blob of ice cream. So even though I got it nice and soft, it's still not soft enough. You don't want it to be melted. You do want it to have a little bit of, what's the word? See, I can't hear y'all and you can't tell me. You want it to have a little bit of thickness. I couldn't think of what I wanted to say. All right, so we're gonna scrape that off and then we're gonna put the plunger on and we're gonna gently mix it. You can make this in the gallon pitcher so that you're not making quite as much of a mess if you want, or you can even double this recipe and make it in the gallon pitcher. Clean that off here. That pizza smells so good, by the way. All right, so you're gonna just gently put this lid on and then we're gonna just push down. Oh, you guys, I had this closed. That's not good. I had this closed and that made a mess. All right, so we're gonna just gently push this down. All right, it's not quite soft enough, but you guys get the gist, right? Now that I've made a huge mess, which is pretty typical of me to make a mess. It says pampered, not perfect, right? Anybody can do this. I am proof of that. All right, so we have our frosty latte. I'm gonna answer your questions in just a bit, but let me tell you about this pie. So I did store the pie in my cool and serve tray, but look at this. This is the French silk dessert mix, and I made this super easy, by the way. Just taking the lid off of this between the pizza and this, it smells so good in here. You're gonna follow the mix, the instructions on the mix. So 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1/4 of a cup of butter, 1 package of the mix, and 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. I put this in the deluxe stand mixer. You mix the first 3 ingredients and then you slowly incorporate the whipping cream, and then when it's all combined, you're gonna whip it for about 3 minutes. So it's this nice thick consistency. While I was doing that, I baked an Oreo cookie crust. The recipe is in that first link that I shared when I first got on live tonight. It's just crushed Oreos and melted butter. And I baked it, I think at 350 for about 12 to 14 minutes. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. So you let the crust completely cool. Otherwise your filling is gonna melt. So completely cool your crust. Pour the filling in, and then I made some whipped cream in my whipped cream maker, put it in our decorator. I like to use the decorating bags, but you can use, it's actually a decorator too. You can just put that tip on it if you wanted to. And then I shaved some chocolate over the top. So, can't wait to try this. And I know Connor is very excited to try that. Okay, so we have about 1.5 minutes. Let me check on my pizza, see if it is ready to go. If it is not, I'll leave it in a couple more minutes. Yum. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. Whoops, almost left my oven door open. Look at how beautiful. So delicious. So I'm actually gonna set this over here, let it cool off. And I get to eat that in a little while, so I'm so excited about that. Okay, let me answer your questions, and then I'm gonna share with you the new products like as fast as I possibly can, the ones that I actually have samples of. So let me get to the comments, and remember, I can only scroll so far back, so if I do not answer a question that you put in the chat, put it in the chat again, and I will do my very best to answer it. So, all right, let's see. Terry, thank you. You are always so complimentary. Like, you make me feel so good about myself. Thank you so much. I had on a different color dress earlier, and I'm like, I have to wear pink because pink is my favorite color, and we're celebrating my birthday. So thank you so much. All right. Cassie said she wants the bread basket. She doesn't mind if I open it. So whoever wins, I'm glad to know that you guys aren't going to mind. And Terry said that the overnight turkey is the best. So thanks for that little plug. Sarah, I assume you're asking me to link the video to the overnight turkey, excuse me. I don't want to come off of this page because I'm going to lose all of these things. But if you are on my channel, or if you just search on YouTube overnight turkey and then add the Flip Flop Chef, you should be able to find it. If you can't find it, please let me know and I will be happy to send that to you. All right, let's see. Questions. All right, so if you typed something before I gave away prizes, I may not have seen your questions. Excuse me, you guys, my nose is itching. Robin, the vintage stoneware muffin pan is actually the one that I have over here, and they're not really any different. Excuse me. I don't know what is tickling my nose, but I'm glad I'm done cooking now. Okay, let's see. The bread basket is not going to be restocked. It was a Wild Supplies last item, and they sold out in less than 2 days. I am very sad to say that. Let's see. Questions. Have you ever used homemade ice cream before I freeze it? Sarah, that is a great suggestion. And yes, I know I haven't, but yes, you can. So if you're asking, can you use homemade ice cream before you hard freeze it for this, it would be perfect for that. So such a great suggestion. Thank you for asking that. Let's see. Anne, I'm glad you made it. Beck, I'm not sure who this is. Beck Ubu, she asked, can you make the latte recipe in the blender? I don't see why you couldn't make it in the blender. It's going to be too much volume for the blender. So you could maybe, reduce the volume and not put as much in there, or do it in batches. You could certainly do that. So, Terry, you could probably use almond milk instead of regular milk. That's the great thing about, recipes, especially coffees like this. You can do it just like Starbucks. You can use almond milk or oat milk, whatever you like, go for it. Yes, so Marcia said the latte is like a coffee punch, and it really is. It's so, so good. Anita, I wish you were here. We could have that slice of pie and a latte. Okay, let's see. The ice cream prices are crazy. It really is insane how I really had a hard time, even though they were BOGO and I knew I was only paying like $3.50 for it. I still was frustrated because I think the Walmart brand the other day, I can't remember if it was $2.97 or $3.97, but I was really frustrated with how expensive that was. So Gilda asked if the zucchini makes the pizza watery. I have not found that to be the case. And because we par baked that crust, it's going to keep that crust from getting soggy, so which is great. All right, Betty, the bread basket, as far as I know, is not coming back. Marcella asked, what am I doing for my birthday? So the boys and I went to dinner last night. Keith is still in Georgia. He went to the Auburn game yesterday, and but for my actual birthday, we spent three nights in the mountains of Blue Ridge, which is the total opposite of what I usually like to do. But for those of you that have known me for a long time, that is where I broke my back, was in Blue Ridge. And that was, this Christmas will be 21 years since I broke my back. And I wanted to go back to Blue Ridge. My boys had never been on a mountain trip. We'd always take them to the beach. And I really wanted to change the memories that I had in Blue Ridge. And so I'd only been back one time since I broke my back. And I decided I wanted to take the boys, and we had such a nice time. And so that's what we did for my birthday. So thank you for asking that. Okay, so the marshmallow mix, and I think this is Linda, forgive me, Happy Place Gal, I think this is Linda. She is asking, will the marshmallow mix, gingerbread mix, and icing mix be sold separately? And unfortunately, the answer is no. And I'm a little frustrated about that, and I have shared that with Pampered Chef too. I'm not really sure why they made that decision to sell them separately, but that's just the answer that I got, is that they're not available, or not sell them separately. All right, let's see. Yes, the French silk pie mix is available now. Thank you for asking that, Linda, so that I could get that. Lily, hi, so glad you're here. All right, let's see. Yes, and Pink for breast cancer awareness. I'm going to show you the bread basket. And Lisa, yes, I am. I would love to see you. So Marcia asked if the pepper core will work on regular sized peppers. Yes, so this is the other piece. It has two pieces. So this one stores inside of this one, just like this. But if you pop this open and out, you can actually take this. Oh, I almost forgot. I was going to show you guys the potato. Hopefully I don't forget that, but I'm already cutting it close on time here. You would take this and you would just hollow out the top of the pepper and the seeds. So yes, that's the answer to that question. Dawn, yes, the gingerbread bacon build box is the same as previous years. As far as I know, they have not changed the design. I have the previous one here that I will hopefully get to show you guys. Teresa, you cannot slice or shred cheese with the Wrap and Prep mandolin. I wish that you could. Can you show us how the storage container hooks onto the mandolin? Yes, Beth, I can show you that. So let's see. All right, if anybody has any other questions, I got to the end of what I can see. If I did not answer your question, type it again, because for some reason YouTube only lets me see so many. So Beth asked how to store this. So this piece, you're gonna just stick it right in here, and I have some crumbs in there, so it may not fit perfect now. But the opposite of the, so this little hopper goes in one side and these pieces go on the other. And you can store this upright in your cabinet, or you can store it laying flat in the cabinet or in a drawer. Either way is fine. So, and then you just kind of pull this off the top. So these knobs go opposite of the hopper. I hope that that is easy for you guys to see. And I'm going to show you this really quickly because I bought this potato specifically to show you guys this, and I'm going to show you. So nobody's eating this potato. I'm not worried about all of the crumbs that we have here. By the way, I used this brush. This is supposed to be for cleaning dishes, but I use it pretty much only for vegetables, so I love it for corn. But I washed all of my vegetables with this brush, and the name of it has left me. All right, let me show you guys. So we're gonna put this on the perfect French fry setting. So it's on the French fry, first dial French fry, and over here it has a perfect French fry setting. So we're gonna put that there. I'm gonna stick this in here, and I gotta go slow so I can show you more than one setting. So this is the perfect French fry. So you see perfect size French fries. You can do sweet potatoes as well. Whoops, threw one on the floor. Now I'm gonna turn this to the julienne, and perfect julienne on the bottom. And then, so this is like your shoestring, oops, here I've got some up here. So like your shoestring fries. I use that a lot for zucchini actually, but not quite that thin. Now I'm gonna put it on the slice. We're gonna start with a 1. Get through that slice, okay. This is a 1, so you can see super thin. Let me zoom in, I'll have to dry my hands, but super thin for the 1. And turn this to a 2. Full 2. So you can see that it's not quite as soft, so it's a little firmer because it's thicker. We're gonna put this on 3. Oops, there we go. So this 3 there, and I know this is loud, you guys. I'm gonna, this potato is fat too. Let me get down here. Okay, so this is a 4. Can you guys see that? Let me pull this down a little bit. All right, so this is the 4. I can't really see the numbers anymore. This is a 5. I'm just clicking it over. 6, 7. So you see it just gets thicker and thicker. So you see I can't really bend this. And no, I don't know. I must not have turned all the way. So this is a 6. And that's the 7. And then 8, all right? So you can also put this on that French fry setting, but not on a perfect fry. And let me put this little hopper. And I'm just gonna show you like in the middle. Oh, there's a fat potato in there. So this is like the French fry setting, but not quite as thick as a regular fry. Now, another cool thing, let me get this, see if I can get this potato out. You can dice with this. Hang on. So if you want to dice, you're going to take these julienne, so like your French fry cuts, you're going to take all of these and you're going to put them back in here. All right? And then you can just dice. Isn't that so cool? So look, this is a mixture because I just reached in there, but look at that, like little square hash browns if you wanted to. So that is the Rapid Prep mandolin with a potato. Let me wash and dry my hands so I can move my camera back. My iPad screen does not like wet fingers. It doesn't work very well. All right, any new questions? I'm about to check and then I'm gonna show you very quickly the new products because I was trying to decide about making a video because normally I make a video of the new products, but because I didn't have access to all the samples, normally, you guys, I'm making such a mess, I should just not try. Normally, we have the opportunity to earn all the products when they come out, but for these new things, we didn't have all those opportunities, and so I didn't have them all, but this is the bread basket. I don't want to get it dirty because I'm going to give it away. So I just decided to show you what I have. So first of all, this is beautiful. I know you're going to all fall in love with it, but one of you is going to win this. But this is the stone that you warm ahead of time. And I did not open this, but this is the towel that comes with it. And so you can actually keep your bread, put the stone under the towel, put your bread on the top, and it's going to keep your bread hot for that Thanksgiving dinner or any meal that you have. I'm going to set this out of the way so I don't get anything on it because it is not going to stay in my kitchen. I'm going to give that away. This is the very seasoned version of the 12-cup muffin pan, which I will be giving one of those away as well. We have this new truffle finishing oil. Now, I'm not a huge fan of truffles, and so I haven't tried that yet, but I also haven't been home very long to try it, and I know my kids wouldn't like it, but if you want to make truffle fries, use the Rapid Prep mandolin, cut your fries, cook them, drizzle them with truffle seasoning, and sprinkle them with Parmesan cheese, and you're going to love that. We also have these cute little mitten tongs. They do match my dress. These, I've had a lot of questions about what color these are. They are not red. They are not cranberry. They are like a fuchsia. So they are a pink. You see, they're almost the same color as my dress. They're definitely pink. So those are the new mitten tongs. Last year we had green. So if you have them both, that's exciting, right? All right, I'm gonna show you guys this new, I just got this yesterday. I'm so excited that I was able to get this. Normally we wouldn't have grapes in this, but this is the best container that we could find today to put the grapes that Connor bought at the grocery store. So he washed these, removed the stems, but this is the new square insulated bowl, and this is while supplies last. So you definitely want to get your hands on this one. It's perfect for things like square waffles or sliders, different things that are more square that are going to fit better in a square bowl versus a round bowl. It has similar design as our previous bowls, but so the hooks sit on here, but it doesn't have a clear lid. So it's kind of a cross between the on-the-go bowl lids and the traditional insulated bowl lids. But this is a Yeti for your food. And I'm not going to store this with the lid on in the fridge. I'm just going to leave it open. And these grapes will probably be gone by tomorrow anyways. But this is like a Yeti for your food. So you can put cold or hot food in here, and it's going to keep it whichever temperature you're going for. So that's the new square insulated bowl. I want to definitely show you this new roasting pan. Okay. I'm going to zoom through this, and then if you have any questions, hopefully I won't go more than 5 minutes over. This is the Kids Club Taco Bout Tasty Box. It comes with the recipe cards. It has the everything taco seasoning, has a little pin, has a mix and chop. So this is going to go to one lucky winner, and additionally, another winner is going to get, this apron is a sample I have, so I'm going to go ahead and take it all the way out. This is, if you're this can fit adults too. So it's adjustable, so you can fit this. It is a small apron. If you're a petite person, this would be perfect for you, but it fits kids of all ages. So this, I believe, let me check my list. I'm going to give this away, I think as a set. Let me double check. So yeah, the apron, the new chef's hat, and the mitt set are going to one person, but not this apron. That's not a new one. This is the chef's hat. And then I've opened this, but haven't taken it out. These are the oven mitts. And for those of you who feel like the oven gloves are too big for your hands, this is actually a really good fit for a grown-up hand too. So somebody is going to get the hat, the mitt, and the apron to make a great Christmas gift. If you aren't going to use it for yourself, if you have somebody in your life you can give it to. I think I'm most excited about this. I do make my turkey on Thanksgiving, and I do that overnight turkey. So with overnight turkey, I don't need this rack at all. But what I love, look at how light this is, okay? I have the cast iron roasting pan, which is what I've used the last few years to bake my turkey. But this one will hold a 20-pound bird. And I mean, the pan alone, I couldn't do this, not easily, with the other one. And it's so smooth, it's so pretty. And I'm excited about this. Now, these, the other day, they showed they were almost gone. It said a few left. Pampered Chef has let us know that there is another truck of these coming. So hopefully it's already arrived and you can get this. And this is part of the October Host Special, which includes electric salt and pepper grinders, which I do not have because the only way to get them is to buy it as a Host set. And I really didn't want to spend that much money to get one product that when I had all of the other ones. And so I'm hopeful maybe one day they will bring them to us another way, but I have seen videos of them and they are, not only are they beautiful, but they are amazing. So this is the new roasting pan. And a couple more things, and then I'm going to check for more questions. So a couple of bringbacks. So our gourmet brown sugar syrup is back for the season. Our gourmet cherry almond is back for the season. I love both of those. The bacon build box comes with a gingerbread mix and an icing mix. I don't have an icing mix to show you. Comes with the instructions on how to assemble the gingerbread house, and it comes with 2 molds to bake the mix in. I do have a video on my channel showing you how to do this, and this can be used as the base for your gingerbread house if you like. We used a Lazy Susan when we made ours. They did change the hot chocolate gift set. So these are different flavors than last year. So it looks the same when you open it, but the flavors this year, we have a white chocolate snickerdoodle, yum. Also a sea salt caramel, I can't remember if we had that last year. Toasted hazelnut and a mint chocolate, and it comes with that homemade marshmallow mix. So I am sorry that those mixes are not available open stock. That's definitely something you can give Pampered Chef feedback on. I always recommend you can comment on their social media pages or even send them a message on social media. So, all right, really quickly, let me check for any last minute questions. No, the bread basket is gone. Unless you happen to just be lucky if somebody has it in their cart and they take it out and they haven't, like a host maybe hasn't checked out. Let's see, I'm so glad that the showing you guys how to put the mandolin back together was helpful. Melinda asked about the wine preserver sold separately. No, it is not, and I don't have that yet. I actually ordered it yesterday or today. So the wine, we have a new electric wine opener and preserver set. It's available while supplies last. I do not have it yet. I should have it for the my November live event. I can show it to you guys then. But Melinda, unfortunately, it is not available separately. There's a couple other things I didn't have. The dipping oil sampler. It's the Italian, the garlic parmesan, and the spicy pizza dipping oils as a gift set. I didn't have that. We have a dog treat gift set coming out on November the 1st, so you can get excited about that. And then Dawn, maybe I think it was, asked me about the gingerbread build and bake set. As far as I know, the molds are the same, but this year it does include See's Candy. So See's Candy sour jelly beans. They did a partnership with See's Candy. Let's see, what else do I not have? And I don't have any of the dinnerware here at this house. I put all of that at the doghouse, so I didn't have any of that to show you guys here. But I think that's all the new stuff. Let me see. What other questions? Shirley Graham, you asked when the collapsible microwave cover is coming back. It should be back soon. Mid-month is what they told us, so that one is coming back. Let's see. Terry, I hope that you saw how I showed the storing the mandolin earlier. I hope that if you didn't see that, remind me and I can try to send you just that clip later. Let's see. Yes, Gilda, you can make potato chips on the #1 setting of the Rapid Prep mandolin. And yes, Kim, they are great for air fryer potato chips. Lori asked, what is the best setting for cutting pepper strips for fajitas? I tend to kind of go like a 4. Slicing on a 4 is usually pretty good. That's kind of where I go with that. And remember, if you want that Rapid Prep mandolin, today is the last day you can get it on sale. It's on sale for $67.15. And when you shop the party tonight, you get double entries to win the bigger products. Let's see. Sherry, I understand. She was saying that the truffle stuff is a little bit strong, and totally respect that. You have to either, I think there's not a lot of middle ground with truffle. You either really love it or you really don't. So let's see. Lori asked if the bread bowl will warm up room temperature rolls. I don't think so. I have not used it because, like I said, I literally got it yesterday, opened it just to show you guys. I think it is meant, you warm the stone and then you put hot rolls that you like take out of the oven to put in there. So I don't believe you can do it that way. Let's see. Gilda, the roasting pan is coming back. So if it's showing not available right now, it is coming back. It was available earlier today. So I am not sure about that. All right, let's see. So, Victoria, the square insulated bowl does not close like a vacuum seal. It just the lid just sits on the top. That's a great question. All right. Let's see. The electric grinders, I hope they're just going to be sold separately. They haven't told us that. The French, okay, so the French silk, I didn't see that was a while supplies last, which was strange because almost, I think every other dessert mix we've had said that. Let me see if, yeah, this does not say available while supplies last. So Katrina, it may be a permanent item. I wish they would make some of the other ones permanent because I loved every other one that we had. Brenda, I'm so glad that you guys got the gourmet syrup and that you guys are loving that. Okay, so Nancy said, if I don't use the wire rack on the roasting pan, how do I do my turkey? So Nancy, you've got to watch the video on how to do the overnight turkey because it is, you cook it breast side down. You want the turkey breast in the juices. So as it cooks, it's basting itself and it literally just falls off of the bone. Once you try the overnight turkey recipe method, you'll never go back to another way. You're not going to end up with like this beautiful bird to put on your table, but you'll have a turkey that actually tastes good, which is tends to be the problem. You have this beautiful turkey, not everybody, but most of the turkeys, they look really pretty, but they're super dry. And it's just kind of more tradition than it is enjoyment. And when you cook it the other way, it literally falls off the bone. It is so juicy. It is so tender. It's amazing. So Jennifer asked about the kids club. So yes, so if you want to buy just one box, we have the Dough Much Fun box, and it comes with the little pocket maker, the hand pine pocket maker. I can't remember. I think it's the pizza seasoning comes with that one. You get a pin and the recipe cards. This is the first box for the series. So this box is only available through October 31st. And you have to purchase either a 3-box or a 6-box series, and they ship every 2 months. And so they'll have a new box that will be November and December, I believe. So this was the September-October box, and then we're gonna have a November-December box. Hopefully that makes sense. But 3 and 6 month, and just in case there's anybody watching who lives in Florida and has the Step Up for Students scholarships, these should be reimbursable. I'm actually going to hopefully work with somebody to get one reimbursed just so that I can test the process, but those homeschool scholarships do cover cooking subscriptions, like food subscriptions, not like HelloFresh, but things like this that don't actually have food in them. So if anybody's interested in learning more about that, if you have homeschoolers in Florida, let me know. Let's see. Nancy, I don't know much about the dog treat set, but I can read what it says. It says, it's available November 1st. It says, give the gift of tail wags, includes pumpkin pie, dog treat mix, dog bone biscuit cutter, and mason jar and recipe card. It looks like the mason jar that we sold before that was like a BPA-free plastic. From the picture, it looks like that, but I don't have it in my hands yet, so I don't know. And it doesn't have a price, so I don't know how much it's gonna be. Let's see. Okay, so Brenda, are you asking about these silicone mats? She said, what size are the silicone mats? So let's see. I love my trusty cutting mats because they have a ruler on them. So this one is just 11.5 inches diameter, and this one is 9.5 inch diameter. So I hope that that helps. If you noticed, I used the big one for the pizza stone. So I hope that that helps. Angela asked if the orders are shipped directly to your house. Yes. So during COVID, we did away with shipping to the host. So anything you buy from Pampered Chef comes directly to your house. So that's a great question. And if you spend $150 or more, you're going to get free shipping. If you spend $90 or more, you're going to get a $15 credit to use on a future order in the next 90 days. Sherry actually has the salt and pepper grinders. Or at least I think you're talking about that from your party. I think that's what you're talking about. She said she loves the salt and pepper grinders. Dawn, the bread basket is not coming back, so that is gone. Okay, I think I have answered all of the questions. If I missed something and I didn't get to you, I'm sorry that I went over time tonight. It was a lot to cover, and when this ice cream fully softens a little bit more, I'll be able to mix this, and I'm gonna refrigerate it and I'll drink some of it tomorrow. But that frosty latte, whoops, I'm telling you, it's so good. And if you wanted to make it like at a baby shower or something, you could even do it in a punch bowl like you would with sorbet and Sprite or 7-Up. Same concept. It's a great baby shower, wedding shower punch recipe, and you can serve it in a punch bowl if you wanted to. If you have any other questions, let me know. The rest of the prizes I will be giving away after the 15th. So if you shop today, you get double entries, and then you have until the 15th if you're not shopping today. And I'm giving away an air fryer, bread basket with the warming stone, the stoneware muffin pan, the multi-purpose silicone mats, Kids Club Taco Bell Tasty Box, the Kids Club Chef Hat Mitt Set and Apron, the Guacamole Keeper, which is sold out, the Mix and Masher Guacamole Mix, Coated Knife Set, and a mini counter vacuum. So thank you all for celebrating my 45th birthday with me and 45 years of Pampered Chef. My next live event is going to be on, let me tell you what day. Hang on, I think I know it off the top of my head, but I want to make sure that I tell you so that you will mark your calendars. The next live event is going to be on November the 9th, and I will be live from Sarasota. That is the plan. So if you are interested in joining that, stay tuned for the next sign up. I will have that a little closer to time, and I will have a new list of prizes for you guys. I ordered some things today, and so I'm excited to get those things on the way. But thank you guys so much for joining. If you watched on Facebook, I will be answering questions there later. I only monitor the questions live here on YouTube, and if you didn't know how to ask questions on YouTube, you have to be logged in. I apologize that I didn't say that at the beginning. beginning. I've been trying to remember to remind everybody of that, but for the next time, you have to be logged in, which means you have to have a Google account or log in with your the same as your Gmail. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate you and can't wait to see what you choose to purchase